who sometimes tell me that, Wasim, I didn't even know about these exams until I started working.
Yeah, so that's how kind of was for me. I'm currently working at, we have three PEs, and so they brought it up. And then the FE was kind of hammered while we were there at school. So
How did you pace yourself? How did you organize your weekly schedule, your daily schedule?
So for me, the way I kind of approached it was, I feel like it was better for me to go ahead and sign up for like a prep class. So that's why I looked into your class, and I looked into some other ones, but I feel like yours probably had the most to offer.
Don't necessarily look for those big chunks of time, right? 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, an entire day just to study FE electrical. That rarely happens. Hi, John.
Hi, Wasim.
How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good. So, John, congratulations on passing your FE electrical and computer exam in the first attempt.
Thank you.
It was great having you in the program. You started your journey in summer of this year, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it took about 4 months, 4.5, 5 months roughly.
Yeah, about 5 months.
Oh, 5 months. Great. And you're relatively recent graduate, correct, John? You graduated in 2024?
Yes, in December of 2023.
So December 2023. What motivated you to jump on the P licensing path so early in your career?
Well, just graduating from school, I really wanted to go ahead and just attack it. Since I had just graduated, I felt like a lot of things were pretty fresh on my mind. So I felt like I'd much rather do it now than later.
Right. And how did you come across the FE exam and the P licensing process? I've noticed that there are a lot of young graduates, new graduates, who sometimes tell me that, Wasim, I didn't even know about these exams until I started working.
Yeah, so that's how kind of was for me. I'm currently working at, we have three PEs, and so they brought it up. And then the FE was kind of hammered while we were there at school. So
Okay, interesting. So, how did your journey start, John? Like, when did you, in seriousness, like with proper focus, kickstart your preparation?
So pretty much whenever after I graduated, I wanted to kind of enjoy my time with my kids a little bit since I had been so busy with school, trying to graduate and everything like that. So spent some time with them, my wife, and then I decided might as well start getting serious about trying to go for my PE. So that's kind of how I approached the whole situation.
Right. And when you signed up for my program, I believe it was in April of this year, right? Just at the beginning of summer, end of April type of thing, with full time work and also with family commitments and personal commitments. How did you pace yourself? How did you organize your weekly schedule, your daily schedule?
So for me, the way I kind of approached it was, I feel like it was better for me to go ahead and sign up for like a prep class. So that's why I looked into your class, and I looked into some other ones, but I feel like yours probably had the most to offer. Everything seemed like it was pretty well paced, and the videos were a little bit shorter, so I can knock those out whenever I had some time. So for me, the best way that I approached the situation was whenever I had time to do it, whether I was free for lunch, whether I was at home and the kids were in bed, then that's whenever I tried to do the videos as much as possible. And it took me a little bit longer, because I couldn't just sit down and study for 2 or 3 hours a day. So I kind of pieced it out a bit longer. And then after the 4 months for the videos, I ended up doing the study guide and then just hammered those practice problems. And I feel like that helped out a lot.
Right. That is the biggest challenge, to be honest, finding time. And it seems like you were following the advice, I think I mentioned in the live training, or that don't necessarily look for those big chunks of time, right? 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, an entire day just to study FE electrical. That rarely happens. So you were making use of the opportunities, 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there, looking around, when kids are asleep, then, now is my time to actually get done with a couple of lectures here, a couple of quizzes, a few problem sets from the study guide, and you carried that for what, like 5 months, 6 months, 5 months, almost 4.5 months, right?
Yeah, for about 4 months, I did the online lectures, did all the tests, all the quizzes, watched the videos, and then I did the practice problems. And wherever I was struggling at, then I went back and watched some of the videos. I even joined part of your accelerator class, so anywhere that I had other like deficiencies is what helped me out a lot looking at those videos.
Right. That's interesting. And in terms of the live training during the summer, how did you utilize that? How did that help you?
If there was any kind of questions that I had throughout the videos, I mean, you were easy to email if I had any problems, but I felt like you went a little bit more into depth because there was people actually asking you questions then and there. And most of the time, they were the same similar problems that I had, so you were able to answer them there while they're in class.
Right. In terms of the live engagement and interaction, ability to ask questions real time, it not only helps the students, but even if you're watching that recording after the fact, chances are that maybe it's a similar type of concepts and they tend to be the more abstract concepts that students have follow up questions on, right? So utilizing that even as a crash course type of review is very helpful. In terms of your exam preparation, did you encounter sections, topics while you were preparing for that you felt really hard, really difficult to pull yourself into? Were there sections that you didn't enjoy studying, but you still did anyways?
Was not a fan of it. Was very
Communications? Yeah.
yeah yeah.
Well, if communications is one of them, then I'm sure that signal processing was probably another one, right?
Yeah. Any signal process, communications, a lot of that was very since it's a very abstract concept. It was kind of hard to grasp.
So how did you go about it? What was your approach?
Hammering the practice problems that helped out a lot, and I did have quite a few of signal processing problems. I felt like I was able to actually tackle and felt pretty confident whenever I was answering them on the FE.
Right. You didn't take the approach that if it is something that I don't enjoy, I'm not going to do it.
I mean, you have to be aware that anything can be asked of you in that FE exam. And so the more practice you can get into doing any of those problems, the better.
Yeah, most definitely. In terms of time management during the exam, 110 questions, 3 minutes per question, 5 hours and 20 minutes to tackle it. How did you go about it?
So the way that mine kind of worked out, the first half was 52 questions. So I kind of just did some quick math, assumed that I had 3 minutes per question. And once I got to the 52 questions, whatever extra time I had, I kind of looked over and made sure anything that I flagged made sense as far as an answering and everything like that. And then took my break and then tackled the second half. You know, it's hard, but it's a lot easier once you break down that know you have 3 minutes per question and know that some questions are going to take a lot faster to answer than others. So as long as you're okay with answering questions pretty quickly, then you're fine.
Yeah, that's a trick over there that you got to recognize not all questions are made equal, right? And you were hammering the questions that you knew that you had a good shot at, and then the ones that were taking a little bit extra time. And obviously, being very mindful, you did that quick calculation. You mentioned, I think you simply took 52 questions in the morning, multiplied it by 3 minutes, and then that was essentially your budget for the morning session. You didn't want to go beyond that. Some people just get so absorbed in the first half, they forget about the fact that the second half is yet to come, right? And for all purposes, the second half contains some of the more difficult topics on the exam. So it has to be dealt with very, very carefully. Um, yeah, amazing. Thanks a lot for your time, John. With full time work and personal commitments, kids, and you're able to get this done in first attempt. And consistency is the name of the game, and you made sure that whether you had 15 minutes or 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and whether it was at the tail end of the day or during lunch hour, you were making sure that you put that to good use. What are you doing with all the extra time now? How does
Oh,
it feel not having to study?
enjoying family again. So
That's
that's been
great.
fun.
You're
So
not missing studies anymore?
oh, not at the moment. Not at the moment.
So you're taking a little bit of a break, and then I'm going to see you in my P Power program. And we're going to hopefully very soon get done with the P Power exam in first attempt as well. So enjoy the time off. Thanks a lot, John.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing, On a weekly basis, I'm creating content for FE Electrical and PE Power exam preparation. I also discuss topics related to electrical engineering with a focus on power systems engineering. If you'd like to learn more about my FE Electrical and PE Power exam preparation programs, please visit my website, StudyForFE.com.